can't tell you.
He's a tech-savvy guy, gonna show you the way. You better load your bags, cause crypto's here to stay. Listen up, gonna teach you about this and that. But he's just a goofy guy in a straw hat. So join in and have a laugh. It's gonna be a good time, that's a fact. Information and crypto parodies. Sit back and enjoy the show. You just never know which way you'll go. So get ready for Digitspin Crypto.
All right. Let's see if we can get this up and working here. All right, there we go. Hey, it's Dino, Digitspin Crypto. Now I'm coming to you live from the bunker in my facility with a brand new system and setup. I've been trying to configure it. It's kind of bizarre because I got like monitors all the way like to over here, like so they're in my peripheral vision. And we upgraded the environment. Got ourselves a 99 with a 3070, so it can broadcast. And I'm gonna probably be upgrading the software. I'm trying the new OBS, the open broadcast systems also, and you can get those free. But you know they do max out at 1080. I like the broadcast system that I'm using now, which is from vMix. It's pretty cool, and it's kind of like more of a professional type of setup. You got nicer interfaces, but you know it costs you some money, so it's a matter of you know if you want to spend the bucks. And you know, and I downloaded the OBS because I want to be able to do some live streams directly to Twitch so that we can have interaction at the same time and do things, and there's a lot more capability there, so I can simulcast through Twitch and send it out also through YouTube and Twitch at the same time. And if you watch it on Twitch, you'll be able to yeah, I see Phoenix is out there, and Frederico, thanks. You guys are always, yeah, I'm first. I kind of put it up here. So, as usual, you can kind of, like, you know, do the whole thing. So, I'm still working with the Streamlabs system. It's dramatically different. Having a few issues with it, trying to set up the screen environment and what have you. But I'll get it worked out, and I'll get that in place. In the meantime, I got my standard broadcast system back online, and it seems to be working pretty good. So now I got, of course, the standard camera, the mini camera, and I've added, yeah, hey, you got me over here. So, what I got, a little fuzz there go? Oh, yeah, so it's on the screen. So you can see the broadcast screen, and this is the broadcast system that I have in place here. It's just kind of neat. Get a kick out of it. So you have a lot of different stuff to work from, and I can you know, change that back to where we were. So it's pretty exciting. We're going to talk about a couple of things tonight, but really want to probably keep this short, and I wanted to really get into, hey Michael, how you doing out there, Mike, and Stephanie, it's good to see you. I'm working with a 35-inch screen now in the front, so you can see in the background this section from right here up that's my screen that I see in front of me. So it's like this ultra wide, it's like two screens together that I can broadcast, which is kind of cool. So I can put up like all sorts of stuff, and then I got all this space down here I have to kind of fill. So I figured, you know, I'm fat, I can fill up a good portion of it. And then I threw in some stuff that'll probably change as we go along, but to get things started, I figured I took the Digitspin Crypto website ticker, If you go to Digitspin Crypto for your prices and information, real-time charts, heat map, all that good stuff. At the bottom, there's the little ticker, so I was able to steal that, and I stole the logo from the website. So that kind of just fits in, and it allows me to, do some stuff. There we go. Do some stuff, with the fill space down at the bottom. I don't know what else I'm going to do with it, but I'll figure it out. Now I'm still trying to figure out how all of this works. And when I first looked at it, I was like, oh. So I had no idea. I did the old face palm and. But I got up and working, so I've added little clips, but we're up and working. So I've been building in like some built-in memes as I go along. I got the don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Smash our like button and subscribe to our channel.
So I know you guys are at home going. But it's impressive, so you're gonna want to definitely
clap, 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 clap.
You're gonna definitely want to get impressed. So I'm building into these like built-in memes, so I can. Interact with the memes at the same time through the show. And of course, I got the standard laugh tracks and all that good stuff, but definitely kind of funny. I'm getting a kick out of it, and hopefully I'll remember to use them as we go along. All right, so let's talk about the good stuff today. We're going to want to discuss, I had it's a nice thing here. I can keep the Electroneum charts. So during the show, so we can see what's going on, and we're gonna hit that, and we're gonna take a look at what's happening regarding the price. Phoenix says I have to go in about 5 minutes, but I have questions about the letter. If no FC approval, does these ETN stop trading completely, or just no trading in the US, UK? Thanks. I'll answer that for you real quick. Basically, I don't believe failure is an option for Electroneum and for Richard. He doesn't seem the type of guy that gives up very easily. And quite frankly, they're on the they're part of the EU. Blockchain consortium type of thing. I can't imagine them not getting their registration number. I think what it will come down to is when and how they let's take a look at this. They have a war chest that's capable of carrying them through to whatever whatever puzzle that they get put through, and they have the resources to make it happen. And those that do make it happen are going to have first movers advantage. And I think Electroneum is poised to be able to take advantage of that, because they've have some of this time to create interactions and relationships with folks, and have them all pending based on what ends up happening with the registration. They'll be able to take it forward. Let's be honest. Electroneum works very hard at trying to make things happen, but they get roadblocked quite often, and through being a company that's trying to the first guys that made the way to the west with if you're up front, you're the guys getting the arrows. So Electroneum's taking it in the shorts quite often, and has had to course correct and change and how they're doing things, or where they wanted to take the company, or for example, they wanted it to be mining, and everybody was GPU mining, and couldn't get enough on there, and you had the potential for attack. They went to ASICs, and that worked out really good. But F2 Pool had most of the ASICs. They controlled the majority of it, and the problem is nobody was going to be making any more Crypto Night 8 ASIC miners. There's no place to use them on. Nobody was going to spend the money on it. So whatever was out in the wild were the only ones that are going to be used. And as you know, F2 Pool plays hardball. They don't seem to do anything untoward. In other words, try to rearrange the blockchain or cause any attacks, but they do flex their muscle by really trying to take over the blockchains. So really, yeah, they really do. Let's try that again. Really. So they they had to then change from that and create a different way, a different methodology for mining. So, Electroneum's really had to be nimble. They've had to swing and duck. It's get in under the punch. So it's been the challenge for them, and not only for them, for us. Trying to keep up with everything, and hoping for things to gel into something that's viable. And once I think everything really comes down to this FCA registration. Quite frankly, could Electroneum still run? Yes, they could. Bring the company outside the country and register it out there and run it from there. Would they do that? I don't even think Richard has that in his mind. I don't believe that that's even an option. Quite frankly, based on what I know of the man and the folks that work there, that's not something that's even, that I would believe to be an option for them. They're not one to back down from, them British. They're not one to back down from a fight, They're going to take it to the mat. And, quite frankly, that's how I see it. I don't see them ever backing down. I think that they're going to do whatever it takes to get this done. And it's really up to the community to kind of keep things rocking and rolling, because as we read through this letter, you'll see that, many companies that are trying to go through this are taking a beating. They can't talk about their company. They can't even do business. There's a lot of stuff that they're afraid to do. And some of these companies are taking it in the shorts. Excuse me. And, they're worried for their future. And luckily, Electroneum does have a war chest to carry them through. And the persistence of somebody like Richard and the team, like Jonathan and Oliver and all the other good guys that are there, Chris. And, it's a good team that really is focused. And they're just doing what they can. And after we talk about this, I think you're going to see why there's probably a lot going on behind the scenes that, and I'm going to bring up some things that are guesses and my personal opinion. Electroneum can't talk about anything, and so anything that I bring up today is my personal opinion, educated guess, and it's unconfirmed information, whether it's accurate or not. But I feel that I tracked this project really close to the vest, and I can get a good feel. I think I would be reasonably close to what's going on as my guesswork. All right, let's take a look here. So this was put out by Rishni Sunyak and Her Majesty's Treasury. And, this is coming from, if we take a look at the bottom, we got Alan Taylor, who signed it, the chair for Crypto UK. And Crypto UK is a group, and he sent this to the Ministry of for Digital, Economic Secretary Ministry for Digital. And he sent it off to this gentleman here at the Treasury. Now I'm hoping you guys are able to read this. I might make this a little bigger. We'll cover up some of that. Let's bring that across here, and let's see if we can really let's pump it up. All right, let's see if that works. It's huge on my screen, but I want to make sure you guys can read this along with me, and you can see everything that's going on. I appreciate all you guys who are out there watching the show live, and of course those that are watching it as a repeat. Now keep in mind, obviously, I'm not a financial advisor, nor do I work for any of these organizations, so I don't understand all of the details, but we're going to take a look at it, and I think we're going to get a pretty good understanding. And so this guy, I'm going to read through this because this I think is one of the more important things that I could ever read. I read, cursory through some of the Electroneum stuff, but this letter really has a lot of information in it, and I think it's something we should definitely read. All right, so he starts off with the Dear Chancellor stuff, and on behalf of all the members of Crypto UK, the UK's Digital Asset Trade Association, so all the folks that deal with digital assets, kind of belong to this trade association. And they give them a little brown nosing up front. We welcome the positive work you and your colleagues are doing to support the fintech sector in the UK. You always want to fluff them up, before you get into the meat and potatoes. You got to get the fluffer in there. and don't ask me what a fluffer is. I ain't telling you. Okay, but that's a fluffer. All right. And they start off with, it's obviously a fast-growing sector worth more than 1.7 trillion globally. And, the UK is strategically well-positioned to leverage the government's legacy investment, supporting innovation and existing dynamic talent pools to become a world leader in the industry. So it's like, hey, we really want, there's a lot of money out there. We should be leading this, and we believe that should be true. However, the UK is currently missing out on the major opportunity in its capital growth, as the UK accounts for only 6% to 54% in the United States and 16% in China. Obviously, the US has a lot of folks, building for cryptocurrency, and we still have to get our act together, and we haven't really made some of these things happen yet. But I'm sure that it's on its way, and it'll be a similar situation. So, as we go forward here, the UK is concerned. We are falling behind the other countries for 3 reasons. We're calling on you to address them. First, the FCA money laundering registration for crypto asset business, MLR, commenced in January 2020. So basically, everybody that that wanted to interact, sold cryptocurrency between themselves and obviously commercial or the retail investor or larger investments. And, if you touched cryptocurrency, you had to have filed. And it started in January 2020, which was when the registrations were to be complete. To date, only 4 out of 200 applications have been determined. So these are numbers that we didn't know about prior, and the information here is important. And I'm going to try to keep the details. I'm going to try to explain the details and why I think it's important. That's why I really wanted to read through this with detail and depth. All right. We were wondering, there was about 100. I thought there was about 100. So now we're seeing that there was about 200 applications that were applied for. And since then, only four have been determined. Okay. 196 have all gotten, quote, extensions, so until June, which I'm sure is going to be extended again. And this is concerning. And it was pretty clear to me because of all of the time that's been taking. For example, with Electroneum, it was pretty clear to me that they were running into not roadblocks, but what should I say? Here's the problem. The FCA, you got a government jumping into some of the newest technology. There is no time in human history where the government has the best computers, technology, and people to understand the very new current technology. I was brought in to be the chief information officer for New York City one time. And this was in the year 99, because it was going to 2000. There was going to be some issues. I'm reviewing the computers that are in place, and they're running DOS. They didn't even have Windows on them. The operating systems were so old that I had a lot of concerns. And, and then, you get the city come back. Oh, no, it'll be just fine. We won't have any problems. And, they did not like the answers that I had to present to them. Whilst our industry appreciates all the new regulatory regimes, take the time to embed. The industry is experiencing significant challenges with this regime. We run deeper than the issues made public by the FCA. So basically, while the industry appreciates the regulatory regimes, take time to embed them. The industry is experiencing significant challenges with the requirements, with what they're asking, and it runs much deeper than what's being made public. So clearly, 98% of all of the companies that are filing for the FCA registration are running into some issues trying to get interaction with the FCA. And this is the problem. Is, remember, I was talking in other videos prior that they're trying to apply rules and processes that were not designed for this new technology and the way things work. And it's causing havoc for the people that are trying to make businesses and try to get things kicked off. And the FCA as a government is just, you got some bean counter. Well, does it do number 1A in paragraph C6 subsection 2 or not? And they can give a rat's ass if it doesn't. They got a checkbox and they got to check it off. And it's a problem. And it's usually how most government officials work, especially those that have power, especially in financial institutions like IRS and what have you. You call the IRS and they talk to you like you're some jackass, and they could give a crap about your personal issue and how you want to try to get it fixed and what have you, and they don't care. You either get it in or we'll come in there with guns and we'll take it from you, And it's an abuse of power when somebody's truly trying to make it work. Most most people just run and tell them, screw you and catch me if you can. And those that are trying to get it done run into problems. So clearly there's issues, and clearly we don't know what they are. And it would tend to me, I have many ideas. I'm going to see if in the rest of this memo, if some of them are brought to light. If not, we'll talk about those. I don't know if I installed the highlighter. Probably not. So I'm going to see if I can come back to that if we can remember. All right. A large number of the members are seeking to be admitted to the register. The regime was meant to ensure crypto asset firms implement and adhere to financial industry standard anti-money laundering practices. All right, so it was meant to make sure that the firms, like anybody touching the crypto, took care of their responsibilities to ensure that it's AML compliant. However, the application process far exceeded this scope, and endeavors to assess applicants against a higher standard more closely aligned to a full electronic money institution authorization. So basically, they're treating everybody that's applied as a national bank. All right. And this is what I was saying. And if you guys followed me on my Telegram, if you don't come to Digitspin Telegram, you'll find the link down below. It's free. You go there. I'm on there almost every day. There's very knowledgeable people out there, and we discuss these things all the time. And this is definitely something that we were talking about, that and I've said it in other videos, that the first set of guinea pigs going through this are gonna get it, they're going to inspect the cotton count in their clothes. They're going to check their underwear. They're going to look up their Netflix subscription. They're going to do all sorts of crazy shit above and beyond, because they don't know what they're looking for. They don't know what they're doing, so they're going to the mat with let's just, if they can pass the highest bar, then we'll let them run. All right. And that clearly is being defined here as not helpful in any way. All right, because a lot of these that are applying are nowhere near that, nor do they have the resources to be able to do all these. The reason why a lot of these regulations are put in place by the governments is because the banks have oodles of money, and they kind of steer the regulatory to incorporate rules, guidelines, and what have you that are extinction level costs. All right. So if you're trying to start a bank, or you would never be able to have enough money to pay the people to keep the regulatory part of it in place. You couldn't make enough profit just to pay the people that would have to push papers around and basically put you out of business. It's how the banks keep you from opening up a bank, or opening up a money implementation business. All right, and it's a rigged system, as they call it. All right, and so this is clearly what's happening in the UK. They're bringing the bar to the highest, and it could be because the regulators are like, if I look at it from the regulator standpoint, well, if they can pass our toughest stuff, then obviously they're good to go. But it's clearly not a match, and of course it's different. All right. So let's get back to this. Many of our members have reported undergoing what they can only be described as an arduous process. And I have a feeling this is being very kind. When they wrote this, I think they were trying to be gentle and politically not correct, but not to burn a bridge, because I'm sure many of their members are going, those rat bastards are giving me a rash on my ass. So there's no doubt in my mind that's the case. And so can only be described as an arduous process. Additionally, most of our members have received limited and in many cases no response at all from the FCA since they even submitted their application. So out of the 200, most of the members have received limited and in many cases. So limited means that they're probably getting a couple of emails, we got you on the list, or start here, type of thing. And in some cases, no response at all. So can you imagine you've applied last June and into this date, you still have not even had a response to just say, yeah, you're on the list. Not even a response. So there's a problem. Clearly, based on this, the FCA is way over their head trying to do this. And clearly it would have been smarter for them to, instead of throwing up this giant wall that only 4 companies have been able to scale, and I'm sure Coinbase is one of them, that have been able to scale, they should have built walls, small steps. Hey, let's get you in. Let's get you assigned a number. Let's get you on record that you want to do cryptocurrency. All right. We want you to take a look at these items, the items 1 through 3. We want you to do these 3 things going forward. We're going to take a look at that over the next 6 months. And once we get everybody up to, steps 1, 2, 3, let's start adding these additional things. But they're hitting these companies like they're trying to open up national banks, and in most cases they're not even responding. So clearly FCA is just way over their head at the moment. For some, more than 8 months have elapsed without a single response from the regulator, and that's a shame. The only saving grace is that they were, and obviously the FCA knows that they're in deep, and they've said, hey, at least you're registered. We're going to hand you a temporary license. You're on the list. Eventually we'll get you worked out, and at least they're letting them continue business going forward, which is, I think, the only saving grace of this whole thing. And they're just on the list, but they're gonna be it's gonna be hard for them because they're gonna have to catch up, or the guys who went first took all the arrows, and then they find out, oh, we just need this, and this, and then the people coming behind are gonna have an easier leap to jump the gate. So that's possible also. All right. Welcome. I see Ashokan there is out there. Thanks for joining the show. Appreciate that. Stephanie just like smiling a lot. Well, I appreciate those smiles, Stephanie. Cheers me up. Okay. One applicant stated that they submitted their application in the summer of 2020 and still have not been assigned even a case officer. So basically, they just told this person, yeah, thanks for applying. Don't call us. We'll call you when we have the time. Another applicant who is on the temporary register and has had their application in for almost a year confirmed that they were recently reassigned a new case officer. Right? And that's always an issue. When you get reassigned a new case officer, you're like, oh, crap, I got to re-explain everything from the beginning all over again. Darn it. Ugh. So, I got a good entry point there for my little meme. So this created a lack of continuity from their earlier dealing with the initial case officer, and was likened to like starting the replication all over again. And it's just, you know, a god awful thing to have happen. And obviously they're moving people around. Additionally, we have received reports from firms experiencing delays on other license applications as a result of the MLR delay. One applicant confirmed that their EMI application was submitted 7 months ago, but they have not received any feedback on this application that is being considered in conjunction with an MLR application for the company's affiliated firm. Now, I know Electroneum definitely fits that category, and so I don't know if this is about Electroneum or if it's not about Electroneum. It could be any company, but Electroneum fits that description. But I'm sure there are multiple companies, and these are when you have to do business. You may have 2 or 3 companies that work together to make something happen. And each one of them need to get the registration number so that as a whole, the business can function. And this is where they're running into problems. The applicant confirmed the application was submitted 7 months ago, but they have not received any feedback on the application as it's being considered in conjunction with the MLR. So the main company may be, trudging along doing good stuff and, getting things done. But the sub companies that are part of the business that have to also be applied, nothing. It's like, it's glued together. So you need to get it all together. And it's a problem. So, this is going to be a problem for companies that have multiple sub-companies, subsidiaries that have to be glued and part of the whole process. And without it, it's definitely a problem. Phoenix is saying, yeah, Electroneum can't afford to be passive right now. I'm not sure how much you can, push around regulators without them telling you that, hey, well, we'll get back to you when we get back to you. It's like going to the IRS and telling them to screw off. I ain't paying you. Well, they just come and take it. So they just go to your bank account and take it. So it's, but, those guys, those English guys over there, they have, a real good capability of withstanding the most arduous of issues, and can make this happen. All right. They feel that their EMI application is essentially stuck in limbo as a result, and we know from other members that the FCA has taken this approach of evaluating multiple licenses in tandem. However, previously the FCA conducted their assessment within their statutory time limit, which no longer appears to be the case. So I would tend to think those first 4 companies were lucky, since they were first on the list, to get some interaction to make things happen. But there's clearly an issue here, and hopefully let's see what's going on. We can find out what's going on. Stephanie goes, yeah, I like your jokes. They make me laugh. It's good stuff. Phoenix thinks, Phoenix is saying, yeah, I think that's Electroneum myself. Yeah, I don't know. There's no way to tell. It's sheerly, it's sheerly a supposition on anybody's part to say that is Electroneum. But we can clearly say that Electroneum could fit that category, and there's 200 companies out there, all of them having an issue, so it could be anybody. And I think it would be suspect for us. It'd be real sus for us to apply Electroneum, that's Electroneum. We don't know that to be the case, but there's potential, and it could be some of the reasons why this is taking so long, if it is, trying to get their other companies to funnel through at the same time. And so, this means that they're probably, Electroneum is probably working real hard, probably very frustrated at the senior level. I'm sure even the employees that are there are doing their best to make things happen. But clearly, this has got to be very difficult. Whether or not this is describing Electroneum is irrelevant. The issue that these types of things are happening have got to be a real challenge for the ETN team to go through this process. But they know that an amazing future for Electroneum can present itself when they get past this gauntlet of nonsense. It's pretty clear to me. All right, let's get back to the mini. Those four got approved a long time ago. I wouldn't be surprised if they were part of an initial program or something, or a test program, a pilot program, and I bet you the people like Coinbase and others that were able to apply unlimited resources into what they're getting done there, crypto dog. So that's very possible. All right. Let's take a look on here. Based on the FCA's current guidance, crypto asset businesses that were trading prior to the 10th of January 2020 must register with the FCA to continue to trade. Since that date, all new businesses were required to register prior to January 9th, and these firms can only commence trading once the application is approved. So, if you have a crypto business in the UK, if you didn't apply, which they opened up in July, end of June, and Electroneum, as soon as I saw it, I was like, make sure you guys, apply for this. and I'm sure they were way on it. I was just sticking my nose where it didn't belong and just saying, just don't forget this, guys. But they clearly were on the ball because they applied right on target when the applications opened. They got that in there pretty quick. And which was important for them. But any company that didn't, technically, if they're running a crypto business, they are running illegally in the UK if they're not, if they didn't file this application as of January 9th. Let's see here. Phoenix Rising, ETN knows that if they don't address this problem now, they will be absolutely berated on social media. So good to see them trying to fix this now, well in advance of July. I don't know if it's something that they have to fix, but they have to go through the application process. Now, as I'm reading this, it's pretty clear to me that there's a lot of stuff that's being demanded and that they're going to have to modify or change certain things to be compliant. And I have a feeling that the team is working real hard to make whatever is required happen. That's where I get out of this. All right. Existing businesses are grandfathered were given an extension from the original 9th, which was the deadline for their application to be approved. So they had to be approved by January 9th. But they've only got until 4 out of 200 until July. And there's no way that they're going to get through 196 of them between March, April, May, June, July. In 4 months. They've had a freaking year and they got 4 done. 1 a quarter. So all these companies are going to be basically working on extensions until they can get through the process. All right. Electroneum will get this done. But they're going to take a beating in the meantime. The clock again is ticking as we approach the new July deadline, whereby existing firms legally have to cease trading unless they grant them an extension. All right? And I can't imagine them just telling everybody you ain't getting an extension and they put 196 companies out of business. That would be suicide for that industry in there. So clearly they're going to have to extend it again. Whether or not they accept more applications, if I was them, I would accept the application, let them know that it's going to be tossed on the bottom and you got a 1-year extension immediately because they ain't getting to it. Additionally, hundreds of new businesses have been waiting for months to progress their applications, with staff and overhead costs mounting. Because keep in mind, without those that didn't get their application in July are really SOL. Those that did are able to continue to do business, but until the applications are processed and they're in the system, they're technically not supposed to be doing business. And they have people that they're paying and the buildings that they're paying, and they're not technically allowed to do business until they've been approved or accepted into the program. And that, quite frankly, is bullshit, because they're going to put a lot of these companies out of business that don't have a decent war chest to keep them running. I mean, put me right out of business. I don't have any money. As they cannot start trading and earning revenue until their application's been approved. Our members also have also received reports from the current FCA staffers that the agency disbanded its crypto asset team last year. What the same shit's going on over there now? I don't know. You guys had, freaking UK, colonized the world, but they can't get their shit together. You guys, the British have the British government has definitely fallen way below. His Majesty should not be very impressed. Yeah, Crypto Dog saying, I think the FCA will do another extension. I think you're right on target. They don't have a choice. They really don't. Or they put these companies out of business, and it really would crush the UK's capabilities of being competitive in the crypto industry. It would destroy them. And these companies would have to register out of country. With someplace in the EU, and come in back through a back door, which the UK has an agreement with. So you go to Malta and you register there, and you're legally allowed to be in the UK because there's an agreement to let that happen. So they've got to get that done. Let's see, 100% expansion. Okay, it is understood that the FCA staff with years of experience gained working within the UK's crypto task force have been reassigned to other departments, and that the crypto asset authorization team is generally understaffed. Based on they only got 4 done in a year, like the guys are saying in the chat, they probably got 1 guy working. Additionally, the new staff assigned to this task are without the crypto asset expertise previously gained by the original crypto task force. So this is what government is good at: screwing everything up. Yeah, they take the people that know what's going on and they reassign them and they screw everything up. Because you know what? They don't care. They don't care because they have the power to take it from you if you don't like it, and screw you, and this is the process, and and stand in line. It's like dealing with the motor vehicle department. I have to tell you, the last thing you want is government in your shorts. And unfortunately, it's going to be a process when it comes to money. You can't get around it when it comes to money. Bitcoin has been the only one that's been able to do it so far, and they're going to get their meat hooks into that. The US, UK, EU are going to get their meat hooks as far as they can into Bitcoin, but you'll be able to trade amongst yourselves and barter and with Bitcoin, and it's going to be tough for them. And it's what Bitcoin was initially invented for. All these other coins don't have a chance. They're not Bitcoin. Okay, if you're not Bitcoin, so every other coin is going to have to go through this regulatory process to be able to interact with the real world. And there's just no way around it because there's just not enough muscle like Bitcoin has to kind of steamroll. There's nobody to go after. So that's the reason why Satoshi, Dr. Adam Back is not letting anybody know that he's Satoshi. He doesn't want to be involved. Doesn't want to be in court the rest of his life. All right. Let's see what you guys say. Yeah, ETN is. I'm agreeing with you, Crypto Dog. Electroneum is fine. Those that are not on the list are the ones that are screwed, and this is pretty much true. However, as they kind of sort out the bumps, smooth out the wrinkles, put lipstick on the pig, the ones that follow will have an easier process. Because they're going to figure out what's needed, what's not needed. They may have levels. They may have a process that's going to be far more understandable and applicable as things go forward. So it may be, those coming in the next few years may have an easier process. But when it comes to government, I wouldn't count on it. The damn redcoats are still trying to control everyone. Yeah, those redcoats. Leave us alone. There's increasing fear amongst the community that the perceived high level of risk the FCA has publicly stated for crypto asset firms has resulted in an extremely high bar for all businesses to achieve. And again, this goes back to what I was telling you before. I think that they just threw everything at these guys. I mean, everything that was in the book, they want them to check off. All right, whether or not. And then they can go back and say, all right, well, we really didn't need this. And we really don't need you to track, everybody's shoe size, every one of your customers' shoe size. You don't have to do that anymore. And making it easier for the next people. But the first ones going in are gonna take a beating. There's also concern that the assessment delays have been further exacerbated by a lack of subject matter knowledge by the assessors. Call me shocked. The guys. Are you telling me that the guys that are in government don't know anything about what they're doing? There's some old guy with a cigar. Where's my cigar? I gotta have my cigar here. Hey, Michael, what's this cryptocurrency stuff? We're gonna regulate this. Let's I don't know. Something about coins. All right, let's put a regulation in there that they have to wrap all the coins. The coins have to be wrapped. Yeah, we want them wrapped in paper, and the denomination has to be on the wrapping for each and every coin.
Oh, clap, 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 clap.
Oh my gosh. It cracks me up. I'm just, the people in government don't know what they're doing. Huh? Amazing. All right. MLR is an activities-based regime in that and not that of a conduct-based regime, with many experiencing the same requirements as if they were applying for an e-money license, for example. The FCA's high-risk perception is in contrast to Her Majesty's Treasury most recent national risk assessment, where the government found crypto assets to be of medium risk level in terms of money laundering and terrorist financing. So they're putting us through the ringer. You guys are putting us through the ringer, and you shouldn't be. What the hell is going on? These guys wrote this really nicely. I don't think that I would be capable of writing it so sweet and succinctly. I would be like, what the Sam shit are you guys doing? The FCA's high-risk perception. Okay, so we did that. All right. The UK sits at the center of the fintech landscape and enjoys a global reputation for fostering startups and innovation. The FCA has clearly demonstrated its ability to protect consumers by preventing money laundering and terrorist financing, whilst creating a regulatory environment where innovative firms can flourish. However, in this instance, governments, I can't take it anymore. The UK at the all right. However, in this instance, it is faced with an unprecedented challenge. First, the regulator is faced with evaluating a rapidly evolving industry in which it is unfamiliar against the comparison to traditional finance. In other words, they don't know what the same shit they're doing. Yes. I've expressed this clearly and succinctly. Absolutely. All right. Second, the regulator has received an overwhelming number of applications. I'm shocked. You mean people want to be in cryptocurrency? They want to check out the newest, greatest technological advance since the invention of frickin' fire? Which is a testament to the vibrancy of the UK fintech and innovative heritage. It is understood that the FCA originally forecasted that 80 firms would apply. And, of course, now they have 200. In summary, there is a growing concern that the current application process will only benefit a handful of larger organizations. Can somebody say Coinbase? And who have the funding and runway to wait this process out. All right. So again, this is how they keep banks. This is how banks keep the little guy out, because if you and me can open up a bank and we say, no, we're not going to charge you, a fee, or we're not going to charge you when the moon is full of $9.95. The banks go out of their way to invent ways to charge you money, and they call it a service fee. Well, we did have to move that money. It was a very rare blue moon yesterday, and clearly there's a $7.95 processing fee so that we could filter out any type of electromagnetic interference, and of course we have to send a guy down to adjust the Statler transmission with a girdle spring. We have to put the new girdle spring on there. Stupid asshole. They always inventing ways to steal your money, and this is how they keep small companies out. All right, and it would only be a benefit to a handful of larger organizations who have the funding and runway to wait the process out. Luckily, and this is very true, and this is how they keep the small guys out so that they can grab and control and get their hands on all financial assets so that you and me can't. Luckily, Electroneum has a decent war chest. It's not an unlimited amount, and it's nowhere near what any major bank would have, but they have the ability to make this happen. but they're taking it in the shorts. And this is why it's going to be important that people like you and me, talk about Electroneum. Obviously Electroneum's he's probably got some handcuffs on, trying to, not being able to carry a pencil and push the button at the same time because they're keeping them busy with rules and regulations. And this is important why people like you and me should be talking about Electroneum. Pick up the slack. If we see something exciting, let's talk about it. Let's share it. All right? Let's, it's on our best interest. It's in our best interest. And, keep the ball rolling for Electroneum. Because when they get done, Richard Ells will not take no for an answer. I just feel this. Ali Acuna will not take no for an answer. Jonathan won't take no. Chris won't take no. They're gonna make this happen come high hell or water. They're gonna run down the runway in their shorts if they have to, and they're gonna get this done. Even though we see that the task is monumental. It's so monumental that they had that the groups got together and say, we got to say something about this. This is crazy. All right? Clearly, it's way beyond. To get to this point, you've pissed off a lot of people. Okay? For them to write a letter like this as a group. We hang in there. When they get this taken care of, it's going to be... All right. Let's see here. I got my sitting on a string. Oh, that's just my toe. All right. Given the applications are not being assessed in a reasonable time frame or being made unreasonably difficult, frustrations and fatigue will result in withdrawals, both voluntarily and requested. They may tell them, hey, you ain't ever going to be able to get approved. You might as well just piss off. Why don't you go see a movie? All right. This is a negative result for the UK economy and its fintech community. This goes against the government's mandate. It goes against the mandate to promote, encourage competition, and enabling innovation to thrive. Well written. Yeah, give them a left hook, pop, while you're telling them that they suck. All right. Secondly, access to banking services remains a critical impediment. All right, and this is really, it's happened throughout every country. Let me see what you guys got here. Hey, I even got a laugh out of Phoenix. Yeah, Phoenix is saying here that they're scared to death of the power of cryptocurrency, period. And that may be true. Americans had to fight a bloody war as underdogs to get the UK approved independence. The situation is though different. The UK regulators will not let it go. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. Comparing, the revolution to to the UK regulatory complaints may be a stretch. Maybe it's just me, but I think it might be a stretch. All right. Secondly, access to banking services remains a critical impediment to the industry growth. In our recent survey of crypto businesses, we found that 73% of all crypto asset firms have been forced to open a bank account in another country due to complications with obtaining banking relationships in the UK. So this is one hand doesn't, know what the other hand's doing. And, hey, I'm all regulated, this, that, and the other thing. And then you go down to the bank. I am a registered fintech, a registered, FCA approved company. I need to open up a bank account. And you're like, you can't do that. You can't do that. We don't deal with cryptocurrency. We're not allowed to have that. Only us banks, we can have that. at it. Shoot. All right. More than half of those who try to open account, who have tried to open an account have been rejected, with most receiving no reason whatsoever from the bank. I'm shocked. Despite payment service regulations which require providers to give a reason for declining services to a firm. This is in stark contrast to other advanced democracies, as such as the USA, Germany, and Switzerland. Yeah, let's read that again for my English folks that may not understand. This is in stark contrast to other advanced democracies such as the US, Germany, and Switzerland. Yes, advanced democracies. Somebody please tell the author of this that we actually are a republic and not an actual democracy. A republic is a form of democracy. And thank God we're not a democracy, because all they are is mob rule. We end up with cancel culture. Thank God for republics. Thirdly, we must show the world that the UK is open for business and innovation as a central element to the government's fintech sector strategy. Rather than simply being a regulatory challenge, the growth of the crypto assets is an opportunity for the UK. With a progressive attitude and proactive approach, we have a potential to be a world leader. And this goes back to the gotta break out the fluffer. Let's get the fluffer in there. We gotta fluff it up. Please, nobody Google a fluffer. While I'm doing this, some of you will get that joke later when you do look it up. All right, so here they are, kind of fluffing up the situation. Crypto dog, $105 Electroneum. We'll forget this FCA thingy. Yeah, that's for sure. Let's see here. Bad Dino. Bad llama.
Really? Really?
Oh, no, I'm the bad guy. For example, compare the 200 applications that the FCA received versus the circa 40 applications made to the AMF in France. Developers and innovators want to be in the UK because of great work previously done by the government to champion innovation and securing the United Kingdom as a fintech global center. And good luck with that. You're not doing a good job. All right. These three actions would allow the UK to benefit not only from the innovation created within the crypto assets and its evolving technology, but also through the fiscal contributions of inward investment, tax revenue, and employment. In case they've forgotten. Realizing these benefits will require the government to take decisive action to improve the MLR application process, access to banking service, and introduce and make clear a statement of the importance of crypto assets to the United Kingdom's ambition to be the world's leading financial hub, which they're not doing very good at the moment. All right. Hopefully they could turn this around. It's signed Ian Taylor. Congratulations to you, Ian. I definitely give you credit for a well-written letter. Open up with some fluff, throw a couple of punches in between, give them some statistics, hit them below the belt a few times, punch them in the eye, wake them up, and then go back to the fluffing. So, well written, well done, and clearly the UK's got some serious stuff they've got to work out. They have 4 out of 200 processed. They have people that don't know what the heck they're doing, apparently. or not up to speed. Clearly, they know how to check off things on the books. They know their financials, but they don't know how to apply it to technology. And the people that do, they moved out of the way, and the feedback is little to none. Now, now some of these crypto companies know how it feels when you don't get a reply. Like, what the hell? We can't reply? Well, that sounds familiar. Oh my gosh. You're gonna kill yourself laughing. Stop! You're gonna die laughing. What was that from Roger Rabbit? You're gonna laugh yourself to death. So this is all important stuff, and very valuable, very eye-opening. I learned a lot reading that, and it was pretty clear to me that the challenge that specifically Electroneum is going through is probably far greater than we could ever have imagined. And the things that they are probably tasked to do, tasked to change, to meet requirements going forward is probably quite significant. And I've heard, I hear things, and I'm trying to remember who I heard it from. So I'm just gonna, I hear that they're doing lots of stuff, and you read it on Telegram, and you got to keep your ears to the eyes peeled. You pick up a lot of stuff. There's a lot of dots. I'll share my comments on the Digitspin Telegram channel. You definitely want to check that out if you're not part of it. Yeah, you're losing out on some really good information, and definitely want to do that. Here's a couple of my buddies. They want to tell you something.
Be sure to smash our like button and subscribe to our channel.
Yeah, there you go. Especially if you're into Electroneum, you're gonna get all the best stuff right here. That I could tell you. All right, let's go back to this here. Exis saying, if ETN gets the FCA license, what does that allow them to do exactly? Well, I can answer that really quickly. If you were able to listen to the whole video, you'll find out what it does exactly. It allows them to exist in the UK. You can't exist in the UK and do crypto if you're not registered. So it's not like they have a choice in the matter. They've got to register. They've got to get this done, or they can't do business in the UK. They'll get it done. So that's what it does for them. Now, once it's done, now you have opportunity of doors to be opened, and that's for another video. All right. Yeah, the UK is more concerned with forced compliance of feminism and their useless euro rather than to actually encourage innovation and try to dumb us all down. Yeah, they are trying to dumb everybody down. They're not teaching anybody history. You got to know your history so that you don't do it again. You can strive to do better. You tear it down, erase it, and burn it. You have nothing to learn from. Because if you read the history and you look at it and you say, hey, by today's standards, that wasn't cool. That was pretty bad. We shouldn't do that again. Yeah, bad llama. If you erase it, get rid of it, tear it down, you're going to be doing it again. You're going to be doing it again. Don't let that happen. Educate. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's really a shame, especially in the United States here. It's truly it's truly sad. It's truly sad what people think are important. And yeah, I think it's gotten to a point where there's some people have we're such a prosperous nation, or we were such a prosperous nation that people were allowed to have luxury ideas, luxury points of view. We went from the luxury car, to the luxury house, to I could have a luxury point of view. Something that really has no freaking matter or meaning or care in the world. It has nothing to do with anything. Something with if we got into some type of critical mass situation, that would be the first thing to go, because you'd be worried about food and water. It's crazy. All right. Chaz is out there. He's saying that the UK regulators were smart. They would fast track Electroneum so that they can influence the world economic. Great political power play over the horizon. Yeah, I think Electroneum probably is known to them. They're a relatively big deal in the UK. So that they can influence the world economy. I can't disagree with you. What you're saying there, Chaz, is get Electroneum out the door. That's the reason why they're getting Coinbase out the door. Get some of these big players out the door that could help influence and say, hey, yeah, the UK, can make things happen for you. And there's nothing wrong with that statement. David, the lighting's all wrong. We got to change it. This will be only a couple minutes. Have the fluffer work on Jeff to keep him ready. This crypto dog. Phoenix Rising. People in the UK need to speak up and loud to the FCA. That's how things get done. Yeah, probably. I think that's... It'll get done. What you have to do is you have to speak to your representative. In the U.S., we have a Congress and a Senate. And, you reach out to your congressman for the state or for your district and one of your senators from your state. And they can then help put rules into effect to kind of help them go along. The problem, like I said, everything that's been built up has been paid for by the existing banks, the existing systems, and a lot of these regulations. Some of them, are for AML and all that, but a lot of these things are put in place to keep small business from opening a bank and cleaning their clock. All right? It's just like... you could open up a bank and keep the basic regulation. You got to keep X amount of your deposits in there and this, that, and the other thing. You do the basics. And, not overcharge for people and not make up, invent crappy ways to charge them a service fee. And you would make money, do a good old-fashioned loan, for somebody. And they don't want you doing that. They don't want to be challenged. They don't want, Bob's Bank saying, "Come on down here. You're gonna get interest, and you're gonna we're not gonna charge you for this or that or the other thing." It's like you start with some of these banks. I started with a relatively small bank, and they're getting bigger and bigger. And I noticed as they're getting bigger, they're inventing ways to freaking charge me more. And so now I'm like, screw you guys, you're not the same bank that I started with. And they'll get bought out by one of these mega banks and sucked into the vortex. And so you got to go find yourself another small bank. And the whole object is to keep them from happening so that they can control the money supply. And so that's how it comes up. All right, I think we spent a lot of time tonight. You guys have been wonderful. I appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. I've had a lot of fun. Obviously, you want to push that subscribe button. Hit a dislike, hit a like if you enjoyed the content for tonight and my excessive laughing at the nonsense that I had to read tonight to you. Of course, in the description, you'll find all the different links to all the fun stuff for Digitspin. And if you're into NFTs, you can check out the Digitspin Furious Chickens guild type of thing. But it's a Telegram channel for the Splinterlands NFT game that we all spent lots of Electroneum to buy into at some point. We bought some cards. It's a lot of fun, but you don't need to do that. You can start off for free, pretty much, on Splinterlands. It's a pretty cool game. I was going to get into the chart, but I think we saw it all here, and we've got some downward pressure. I quoted today, this morning, that we're going to see 30 sats, and when it was at 34, and we're on our way there. I've been giving out some of my predictions, and quite frankly, I've done very well. Unlike some of these shows, these big shows where the guy goes, yeah, we're going to break out, and if it goes up, this is what's going to happen. If it goes down, this is what's going to happen. And I'm like, how's that good? Yeah. If I turn right or left, that's all bullshit. I tell you what I think is going to happen. And I've done pretty well. And so it's good feedback. It's a lot of fun on the Telegram channel. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. I don't have my my fire exit, but it's still pretty cool. We'll just close it. I'm still putting the whole thing together. Here, I'll show you here. So I got all these screens. I don't know if I can. So I got this screen here, and that giant monster screen. That thing it's huge, and then of course the broadcast screen. I got the control pad so that I can activate certain types of things. So if I want to, do the face palm, I can click a button and it'll come up and do certain things. So that's a lot of fun. I'll put that back here. We'll give you guys a better view of what's going on. There we go. So let's see here. So I push the buttons and it makes all these things happen for me. So it's kind of cool. I'm still trying to get it all together in my spare time, running my company and doing the shows and all the other stuff. So it's been tough. I know you guys got a lot going on. Thanks again, guys. And I'll see you next time. All right, where's the button?